This is the graphical version of the digital rodeo scoring system. This video will cover the data entry for the judges in the field. We start out with a list of possible venues, Williamsport, a graphical test, which is part of this demo, and the demo. We're going to type demo. It puts the word demo over here. We'll put in some judges' initials, TY, and then we're going to click the login. Normally we would put in a login code, but the demo doesn't require one. We now see the various events that will be scored during the day. We're going to start with the pre-trip. We'll start with a list of the drivers that can be possibly scored. The ones that are bold are already done, and you can't tap on them again. However, you can do 129. 129 is put in up at the top here, and we come over here and we set a vehicle number. In this case, there's two possibilities, and from there we can select the various defects on the pre-trip that a person might identify. We can enlarge the screen if we want in order to have a better target to tap on. Each time we do that, we are indeed changing the total points earned. We'll take one off, it's 35. They get 30 up to 40. If they hit the last one, it's 50. Down here, if they don't return everything to their original positions, they could lose points. 1 point, 2 points. Let's say they didn't put the fire extinguisher back, they didn't put the hood down properly, whatever that we were due. We're going to leave them with 2 penalty points and hit data send. It goes to a temporary screen and then comes back. We'll see that 129 has been completed. We can go through this over and over again throughout the day with all the various driver numbers. We're going to clear that. We're going to skip over passenger assistance because that's a long event to score, and we'll do that in the second video. We'll go to passenger stop, number 1. Again, we select the driver number 106. We give it a vehicle number. And they could possibly hit any one or more of the entry cones. And each time they would lose 25 points. So let's give them a 25-point penalty on the way in. If they happen to hit the curb, you would tap the curb. And it would go down and take the points out. We're going to give them back because they're not going to hit the curb. And then we have the front and rear tire distances. If they are 0 to 6, on the front, there's no penalty. If they're 0 to 15 in the back, there's no penalties, but otherwise there's a penalty. And so what we have here is 20 out of 50 points. We will hit the send button. It goes to the temporary screen and comes back showing that 106 has been completed. We're going to clear that one. Now normally you wouldn't be changing stations like this, but I'm doing it for the demo. You would log into one particular event for the day, and that's where you would stay logged in. Go to the right turn. Again, everything looks very similar. We can set the vehicle number, pick a driver. Here they can hit cones on the way in, and the pivot cone is a 25-point penalty. Or if they are further away, if they're 0 to 6 inches away without touching it, they lose no points. They lose 10 points or 5 points for each 6 inches further away, up to 30 inches. If they're 30 inches away, they're probably going to be more likely to hit a cone. They can shift into reverse and get a penalty. Or if they didn't complete the course, if they didn't complete the event, they missed it for whatever reason, they would lose all their points. Again, we send the value. We wait for it to cycle back. It comes back, we see that 105 is completed, and we could go through the day selecting them all. I'm going to go back here, clear that one, and go back to the left turn. Left turn is not quite exactly the same because of the way it's laid out. One, you have higher penalties for the entrance. If they hit the entry cones on the left turn, they lose 25 points. We'll leave them with points here. They're going to make the turn. these, let's say he hits one on the way out. He has to shift in the reverse. He's going to lose points. Again, if he didn't complete the event, then he would lose all the points. At this point in time, we did not select the driver or the vehicle number, but we can go back and change that. And we can change any of this data on, off, until we send the data. And then it's recorded. Come over here to the left-hand reverse. This is one of the most complicated ones on the course here. Again, we're going to set a vehicle number. We're going to set 105, and we'll see that there are many cones here to hit. They come in this way, back in once, and turn and go back out. This is not the scale because this width would be probably twice as wide as is shown here, but it doesn't fit on the page very well. Again, they back in, they get one back in to get down here and not hit that end cone. If they do, they lose 25 points. If they're 0 to 36 inches away, they don't lose any points. If they go further out, they lose points. Again, if we need to, we can make this much larger so that you can tap it with your finger. I'm using these pens because they're easier. My fingers are so fat when they try to touch these things. But again, we can tap them on and off, and each time it keeps track of the score that they've actually earned. Scroll this back down. They might shift in the reverse. This is one event where shifting in the reverse might occur several times, and every to the right-hand reverse. And it will look the same, except in the opposite direction. It's the same event, just scored in the reverse direction. At this point, we're going to stop the video and do a second one for the remaining events and the passenger assistance.